She burst onto our screens 30 years ago as Lindsey Corkhill in the much-loved Brookside before releasing an album, hitting the West End, and even being a panellist right here on Loose. She's a woman of many talents. Claire Sweeney, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
30 years ago.
Looking fabulous.
You're looking gorgeous.
Looking lovely.
We were actually out together a couple of weeks ago, weren't we? We were on the Raz, Proud.
We were Proud, weren't we, to see Duncan James?
We had a lovely night, didn't we? Really, really lovely. And you had the most
fabulous,
beautiful dress on and you looked amazing, honestly, you really did.
Oh,
and you
thank
do
you,
now.
darling.
So turning 50, you've turned back the years, honestly, you look fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah,
Linda,
well, I was
thank
about
you
to say,
so much.
But I'm not even sure. It looks like you haven't even aged at all, Claire. I mean, you just look absolutely fabulous, but you didn't have a great time of it in the lead up to becoming 50 because you weren't that comfortable with it, were you?
Well, I was really nervous about it because to me it just sounded so old, you know. And I thought, OK, you know, I'm going to have a few little parties and I won't really put it out there that I'm 50. I'll just say celebrating my birthday, you know, on Instagram or whatever. Cut to my 50th birthday. I've got great big 50s behind me. I'm wearing a hat with 50 on it and a badge. And I ended up just embracing it. And to be honest, haven't had a wobble leading up to it. Once I turned 50, I felt the best I'd felt in years.
But why, though? Why do you think that you had that wobble, though?
Do you know what? I couldn't bring myself to actually say it. And we're in an industry that is quite ageist as well. And it's kind of a middle ground for an actress, you know, you kind of your mid-40s. It's sometimes, you know, it's either the older roles, you're not quite the young, glamorous lead anymore. And it seemed to be a bit of a middle ground. And then I have to say, I think I've never felt better than I feel now. And I think that's partly due to, you know, being at home and not working so hard, spending more time with my son, just chilling a little bit more, not being such a workaholic. Oh, there he is.
And
There he is,
there's little Jackson.
Yeah.
How's lockdown been for the two of you? Has it been quite an adjustment?
It was, and you know what, Jane? I've actually enjoyed it, and I'm lucky that I sold my house in Spain just before lockdown, so thank God I was okay, you know, financially, because I know our industry has really, really suffered. Theatre and you know, television, everyone suffered. So I was okay, and it was funny. I remember sitting watching the news one night with Jackson. I was obsessed with watching the news at the beginning. And Jackson said to me, "Mummy, why is everyone saying it's so terrible?" He said, "This is the best time of my life. We're watching Harry Potter on the sofa. You're not packing bags and rushing off to work."
Wow.
I thought, out of the mouths of babes.
Wow.
And how did that make you feel about now that we've sort of, you know, we're trying to get back to normal again? How does that, has that sort of done an adjustment in your head about going forward and how you're going to kind of find a work-life balance?
It has, Jane. It's made me think more about, you know, from working all the time, traveling. And my boy he used to get a bit panicky when he'd see my suitcase if I was going off to work somewhere. And now I walk him to school every day. Listen, I'm a single mum. I've got to earn a living. I'm a sole provider for Jackson. So, you know, I've got to work. But I'm now going to find a work-life balance. I mean, how much do you need? He gets more pleasure of me just picking him up, taking him to the park and buying him expensive gifts or whatever. So it's a work-life balance now.
So true. It really resonated with me what you said, you know, in regards to being a single parent and having to provide, but also reflecting and realising how important the work balance is. You know, I was also reading that you were saying that you go on social media and you see, like, the perfection that's put out when we was doing the homeschooling. And just as parents, like, what else are you doing to try and just combine both lifestyle, which is best for your son?
Well, you know, Jackson comes everywhere with me, but there was a lot of pressure. You're right there during like lockdown. You know, I hate it. You know, I wasn't very academic at school. Suddenly, I'm doing homeschooling with Jackson, and you go on Instagram and you'd see all these parents. Like, I remember being really jealous. You know, H from Steps. He turned his living room into an aquarium with all paper fish and all. And I'm like, I got to a stage where I was just chucking the iPad at Jackson because we were fed up of arguing. I remember one day I was doing the lessons with Jackson and he didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And I phoned the teacher. I said, look, he's having a meltdown here. So am I. We're arguing. What do you suggest I do? I said, because we're falling out here. And she just said, put the books away for a couple of days and come back when you're ready. And it was the best, honest to God, it was the best bit of advice a teacher could have given. She was fabulous.
That's brilliant. I think people underestimate that there were so many parents up and down the country that found that period really, really difficult and perhaps didn't see that reflected on social media. And I guess it's important for parents to understand that, yeah, there have been some great moments over the past few months, so, you know, almost a year and a half now, but it's also been really difficult in parts too.
I remember waking up of a morning and just being under my duvet, and Jackson had come in and get in with me, and I didn't want to get out the duvet, and he'd say, Mum, we haven't got to do it again today, have we? The lessons. And sometimes it was good, and sometimes it was hard, and I had a total renewed respect for teachers, because I couldn't do it.
No.
Going on to something else now, can you tell us a little bit, but there's rumours of a Brookside reunion. Do you think there's a chance of it coming back?
Well, apparently it's been shown on BritBox now. So that's, I couldn't believe it before when you said 30 years. Like, oh my God, where did it go? 30 years. So apparently it's been shown again on BritBox. And we all, during lockdown, we all did a reunion, you know, the Zoom with, there was most of the cast all in the little boxes, and it was fantastic seeing everyone.
And would you do it if you had the opportunity to do it, if it came back?
Oh, Brookside was fantastic.
Oh, my favourite
I'm so
soap,
proud
honestly.
I was part of it.
It was groundbreaking, wasn't it? It was groundbreaking.
Yeah. Look. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Hey, tell me hair's natural now, can't you?
Yeah. What are your favourite memories of being on the show? You had a few snogs, didn't you?
You know, one of my favourite memories, snogging Barry Grant. I mean, I'd been a fan of the show for years. Next thing I'm in it, next thing I'm snogging him and doing bed scenes with him and everything. I was pinching myself. In my eyes, it was like, you know, a love scene with George Clooney. I was thrilled.
I tell you what, it's felt a little bit like going down memory lane speaking to you, Claire. It really, really has, because I think we've all got such fond memories of watching on screen. But thanks so much for sharing your stories about Jackson, and give him a big, massive hug and kiss from all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you, and good luck with the awards, girls.
Thank you.
See ya!